Yeah. Hell yeah. It's starting to feel like Wednesday again. Yes. And y'all know what it is. You see my guy to my left or my right, depending on how you're looking at your screen. That's your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster. And if you think your favorite wrestler is famous and he ain't got a picture with Gamache, I promise you, he is not as famous as you think they are. Him or she. And y'all know what it is. This thing is a thing of beauty. But I gotta say it because ain't no one gonna say it for me. And if they do say it for me, I gotta say it because I love to hear the shit. The undisputed podcast champion of the world. I am King HP, and this is the Wednesday Night Wars. Oh man, Raphael, what up? What up, Daddy Hunter? I missed you. Yeah, we are here to talk some WrestleMania season with Gamaj, myself. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows who may pop in? You never know, right? Vinny, what up? We see you in the chat, good sir. And do not forget, I gotta say this: become a member is the best thing smoking. What did we do for the? We did another giveaway for the WrestleMania 2K26, but we have another WrestleMania giveaway. So I'm not sure if we're gonna do it on night one or night two, but whatever it is, it will be a giveaway. And the only way to be entered into the drawing is to be an actual member, not just a subscriber, but the lowest tier membership is $199. And I promise you, we're not doing I promise you the value will have at least 3 digits. That is a minimum of 100. So great opportunity there for somebody. So be that as it may. Gosh, how are you feeling this Wednesday?
I'm feeling great this Wednesday.
Woo! You think Roman feels good? Hold up.
What you see?
I don't know if I'm seeing this right. I swear I don't know. They trying to there might be a lot of royalty in here tonight, goddammit. Hold on. Is this what I all right, y'all. Tonight, exclusive. We're gonna add some more royalty to the building. Some of y'all may already even know who the individual is. Some of y'all may be very familiar with his work. You might have seen him at a different con or two around the way. You might have seen him at some pro wrestling 225 events. You might have seen this guy on the up and up. Hell, you might have even seen this guy at a No Mercy card in Jersey. He's all over the place. My guy, y'all know him. The
A is for Archie. Most loved, most hated, Archie Carter's here. Raise your hand, scream his name, feel the fire, feel the cheer. I shine like diamond smile, 24 karat gold. He's the story, the legend, cooler than cold. Every eye looking, every heart skips a beat. He's who the women want and who men wanna be. Most loved, most hated, Archie Carter. Most loved, most hated, or just taking cover. The choice is yours.
The undisputed podcast champion of the world, King AC. King AC.
hold up. This is definitely a heel character, y'all. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret that these other shows don't even know about. This is the greatest heel in podcast wrestling today. So I'm gonna have to step my game
King
up.
AC. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's a lot of podcasts out there that want to be us. Make me want to be us. So tonight I'm King AC. The undisputed.
I like it. I deal with
Podcast
it. I
champion
deal
or
with
whatever.
it. Just like he's about to have a rap battle. He looks very. We got this kid and play mentality right now.
I ain't got no title, but I got a scar. So what's up?
Oh my God! You gotta love it, man.
We didn't plan this. What's with the all black? We ready to ride? Who we spinning on?
It might be 8 Mile Archie is crazy.
His real name's Clarence. Clarence has both parents.
Nah, man. Even Gamaj in the all black, but tonight we got a goodie for y'all. We're gonna talk about some of the greatest, the best WrestleMania entrances. Now, this one can get away from people because it's very subjective, right? It's very subjective. If you like the glitz and the glamour and the Batista's always a good one. You can never go wrong with that choice. You know, that might be your thing. Some people like subtlety. Some people like once in a lot, like this was only done once, the way it was done. So there's so many things that's, you know, gonna make people feel the way they feel about their picks. But I got some of mine. You already see Daddy Hunter is in the chat. She might get a headache tonight.
Uh-oh.
She might get a headache tonight. What'd she say? If someone says Cena, I'm gonna lose it. Let's get a little history. What's the first WrestleMania that you can remember watching in real time? Not one that you went back and watched as a fan, but like that you can't, you know what I'm saying? That you came into. Because I'm trying to think of mine now.
What do you mean?
So I'm actually trying to clarify the question even for myself, right? Because it was a while before I see my first WrestleMania live, like not in the building, but as it's on television. Because we always had to go to Blockbuster and rent it from Coliseum Video, and that always took months after, you know what I'm saying, damn near a year after the event. But the first one you watched live, whether you were physically there, whether you were watching it, you know what I'm saying, on the black box, the joint, you know, that you got all the fights on and shit, or you ordered it, your parents ordered it, and you had money like that. However you watched it, what was your introduction to WrestleMania?
The first one that comes to mind for me as a kid, like this is like my earliest WrestleMania memory, is this might not even have happened at WrestleMania, but I remember Andre the Giant riding in that cart.
Oh yeah, I think that's 6.
I just remember him being in that cart, and for some reason that was like amazing to me. But
you talking about it was like a little ring, and the little ring took him.
Yeah,
it was like I think it was him and Haku.
That for some reason that sticks out. But the first like Mania I could remember, like watching, I want to say it was probably Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor.
11. Okay.
Like I remember that vividly because that was like a huge deal. Lawrence Taylor wrestling Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge deal.
Like
and that was the year they had. That was the year they had Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy there, too. Which, if you knew, they were the who's who at the time of women. They had the
Pam Anderson was probably the most popular woman on earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And she was she was supposed to be with the Heartbreak Kid. I think something happened backstage because she was supposed to walk the winner of the Rumble out. It didn't happen. She ended up walking Diesel out, and Jenny McCarthy walked out. And Pam at the Royal Rumble when Shawn won, she didn't seem too enthused to even be there. Shawn Michaels trying to hunt on Pam Anderson.
Shawn's a single man in his 30s, and when he got free time, he dates.
He's trying to do everything under the Constitution. Everything under the Constitution. Oh man, Gamash, how about you, man? What was that for? Screw it. Even if you had to go back and watch a tape.
And Undertaker, Giant Gonzalez.
Well, that was 9.
That might be my
That was
earliest because I
outside.
remember watching Giant Gonzalez. Like, first of all, this dude is huge, and this suit is terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
Mm.
Are you eating Doritos, Archie?
No,
because I can smell it. Wait, my bad. My bad.
That's that Cheeto residue.
That's my house. I don't know why. I'm like, I see you eating, I can smell it, and it just. I
I
felt like
try
we was
not
all
to
in
eat
the
on the
same
pod,
mood.
but when I take my meds, I gotta eat. They took a lot of blood out of me yesterday. I'm trying
EAC, that is crazy.
to. Oh, God. And don't ask
Oh,
me
yeah, you
why
gotta.
I'm bald and I got a do rag in my house. I ain't been there.
Minaj, what you got? what WrestleMania was your introduction?
The first Mania that I saw live was Shawn and Stone Cold with Mike Tyson.
14.
Yeah, that was the first I saw live. The first Mania that
Bro,
I went
you and
back
DNA
to.
got the craziest entry points to wrestling, bro. Like, y'all got some wild entry points to wrestling. That is a crazy entrance point into
Yeah,
wrestling. Because that
the
was
crazy thing,
arguably the biggest story in the world at the time. Mike Tyson in WWF.
and the crazy thing at the time was I was more of a boxing fan than a wrestling fan. So when I got word about Mike Tyson crossing over, and then I saw the Stone Cold moment, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to keep watching this now. And then that's how I got into Mania live from that. And then the
Hold
first
up.
Mania I went back to like study the history was Mania 3.
Good pick. Good
Daddy
pick,
Hunter
brother.
said wrestling was banned in her house till she was 15. And then she became a wrestler. But I know she's connected to like wrestling royalty. You might have to come on here and talk about that because that's interesting that it was banned. A lot of people weren't allowed to watch wrestling during that time. Monday
Yeah.
Night Wars, that DX NWO thing was getting kids in trouble.
Even before that, right, Archie? I know you might probably remember this when they had to start playing because remember kids were getting up in the United States, and that's when they started to do not
Don't
try
try
this
this
at
at home.
home.
Yo,
Yeah.
backyard wrestling in the mid to late 90s was a huge thing.
Is a
The Hardy
thing.
Boys started out backyard wrestling trampolines,
Mick
but
Foley started off jumping off
it
his
was the
roof to imitate.
ECW. It was the ECW rise that had people jumping off houses and having these I think ECW might have been a lot of people's entry to hardcore wrestling.
Oh yeah, for certain.
And it
I
was
agree.
something anybody could do. You didn't have to be in shape. You didn't have to be great in the ring to hit somebody in the head with a light bulb.
No, nobody in ECW was in good looking shape. They
It
did
was a
not look
few.
like WWE
It was
guys.
a few.
The Sandman, a legend, doesn't look like a WWE
If
guy.
you watch those matches, though, they had really good matches. And shout out to Shane Douglas. I 1000% agree with what you said about Kamala and the WWE. No way that man should have died in a house with no electricity, double amputee. Speaking of WrestleManias, when he was one of Hogan's earliest and best stories that got Hogan to be Hogan. So shout out to Shane Douglas for saying that. You are 1000% right. Shane Douglas was like that. Just talking about ECW. But yeah, ECW matches were great. It's just the hardcore element. When you see Spike Dudley and Mikey Whipwreck getting crashed and New Jack hitting people with trash cans full of Nintendos and Sega Genesis, anybody could do that.
Yeah, they definitely brought a different, which is why I think AEW should look at early 90s stuff like that. Not early 90s, but they were different. And even though they didn't have the numbers to beat WWE, it's like they didn't have to compete because they were in their own lane. Yet we're all on the same freeway. You know what I'm saying? So we're on this wrestling freeway together, but you're really not my competition. I'm not on the same night as you. I'm getting sponsors. I'm getting all, you know what I'm saying? So
Bro,
salute to
Paul
ECW
Heyman's
and
a
Paul Heyman for
genius.
what he did.
Paul Heyman's a genius. ECW used to come on after Raw and Nitro went off. I switched it to Channel 10, public access. And he said he put it on public access. Not only, I was in Louisiana. I shouldn't even be able to see a show in Philly. But he had it through public access. Even with the music, how he played the music in the background. He said if they played the music directly through the TV feed, they couldn't use it, but it was background noise. Yo, Paul Heyman found a way. That's somebody who found a way, and look at him now.
Yeah. Salute to Paul Heyman. A mastermind in the wrestling business.
The ball from Philly.
Actually, while we talking about Heyman, while we talking about Heyman real quick, because I meant to say this on the Monday Night Raw recap. When he had his segment with Adam Pearce, he had mentioned that I'm a second New York son here. You want to know why? Because of one, ECW, and two, I am the only manager from the 90s that is still active today, put it in work. And when he said that, everybody in that crowd popped.
Now, he said promoter. Some he said, but he got an ECW chant.
Yeah.
He the last man standing. Just like I read today, R-Truth is the last wrestler in the company from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, that's currently active, yeah.
There's no denying it. This is crazy. R-Truth has pictures with Tupac, y'all. Let's think about that. Just think about.
He was a grown man back then, so I don't know how old R-Truth is.
They say he's around 50. So, yeah, my entry point, man, a little weird. I think it's WrestleMania. I think the first one I watched live, right? I think it's 12.
I never saw one live until late in life because, like you said, my mama wasn't paying that $69.99. I had to wait till it hit the library or until it hit the video store, and I would go rent it.
We Hats brought me the little box. So if you remember, WrestleMania 12 happens on March 31st, 1996 at the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California. Right? That's legitimate. You can look it up. I'll never forget these things. And the reason why I'm never going to forget these things is because on March 30th, 1996, I fucking broke my hip and I was stuck in a wheelchair for fucking months. And that was the end of my whole trajectory for sports. So, like, shit was bad. And the only thing that was kind of cheerful, two, when you go in a wheelchair, people feel sorry. First, you're cute. You're like, especially like a black. I can only speak for black families. I'm sorry, I can't speak on my experience for other families. But like, I was the thing. I was the hip thing because everybody worked. So my house had steps to go into the den on both sides. There was two ways to go in. So they put me in that room and left me there for months, right? Now that wasn't the initial plan. When I first got in that wheelchair, they was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna do all these." Niggas don't do nothing. Okay, they never follow through with what they say. Don't believe them. I hate to talk bad, but damn it, I learned my lesson the hard way because for over like 3 or 4 months, I was stuck in one room.
You became a bird. You better roll your ass to that kitchen and make a grilled cheese.
No, this is where it gets bad, bro. This is where it gets like really, really foul. So like, you know, at first you're like the talk of the town. You're like, oh yeah, come see Jared, yeah. But then after a while, it's like, man, we got to go to work. And I'm like, hey, who's gonna leave me some food? I haven't eaten. Can someone bring me a man? I was so happy when I got that in-home tutor. I'm not gonna say anything negative, but she was non-melanated. She used to bring me like Hot Pocket. I ain't never had a Hot Pocket till I was bro. When I wanted to cry. I could cry now because that was the first introduction I had. Like she would bring good snacks and food for me. She brought me, you know how I know she brought me baked ziti, bro. Niggas have never I never had tasted baked ziti. I didn't know, I never heard of baked ziti, bro. Like green bean casserole. She would bring me that for lunch, and she had Tupperwares with the proper lids. It never like, you know, black people, we just put tin foil over everything. She had Tupperware with the proper lids. She would bring me this, and I was able to watch WrestleMania 12 with like, man, I had baked ziti, I had green bean casserole, Hawaiian rolls. Niggas only had bread in our house, like regular ass bread.
I thought Hawaiian rolls just came out. You telling me something new? I didn't even know.
I used to eat, man. So shout out.
I don't think people understand. Let me tell you something. Lunchables, high C ecto coolers, those little Briars Viventi cakes. Listen, these was delicacies to us growing up. Cream savers, like it was a delicacy. If you had good snacks, what's the handy snacks?
Those are fire. And you know
Looking
what's
back
crazy?
at it now, like those was delicacies. Gushers, like full-size
We
candies.
never get them type of snacks. Those were when I went to play with my non-melanated friends. When I played with my non-melanated friends, they always had some fire shit, bro. Like, first of all, I knew they had fire shit because all of our snacks were in Tupperwares. Our cereal, the big jars, so keep the roaches out. So I already know, like, all right. When I go to their house, their pantry has cardboard boxes still, and you pull out the hamburger helper and this, that, and I'm like,
the snacks. I used to be begging for Lunchables and stuff like that.
You know how I knew they had good money? Because I was like, man, I'm hungry. They'd be like, Jerry, go to the pantry, go get you something. Like freelance, like just pick. That shit was like heaven, bro. Anyway, I just remember all this because it all comes off of WrestleMania 12 for me. So that was always my big one because that's when I got introduced to not only the Iron Man match and the Hollywood Backlot Brawl, but also Baked Ziti, green bean casserole. It was a lot of other stuff she made too. It was weird, but I was like, whatever.
Find that lady change your life.
Yeah, for real. So shout out, like I said, shout out to Miss Doyle. I know she ain't watching, but if she ever does, you know what I'm saying, Miss Doyle. I remember her specifically, like she was because one time they locked her out because she's like, I think I need a key because I didn't know she didn't have a key, and she was tapping on the window like I can roll over there and get to her. Like, look, I'm in a wheelchair, I can't help you. So it was bad, but it was good. It was a great time. WrestleMania 12, March 31st, 1996, Arrowhead Pond, Anaheim, California. Salute.
Baked Ziti.
Yeah. But the first wrestling, I went back all the way and rewatched them. Then I started going and watching some territorial stuff. That's how I came across like Buddy Rogers, Classy Freddie Blassie. That's how I started coming up with and finding guys like, oh man, Nick Bockwinkel.
That's not name you don't hear much, but he was around a lot toward the end of the WWF reign, like Classy Freddie.
Yeah,
I remember seeing him a lot as a kid.
Yeah, so that's how I had to, you know what I'm saying? Miss Doyle is one of the whitest names I've ever heard. Facts, but she was my savior for like I didn't know how I was gonna eat till my grandma got home. You know what I'm saying? They brought me the Tupperware. I remember my grandma was mad too one time because she left the Tupperware, and my grandma we don't have Tupperware like this. This has the lid on it. It's still like preserved. It doesn't have like scorch marks from previous foods that been in there.
Ain't no spaghetti stains in there.
Yeah. Like someone watched this in a proper time frame, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. But anyway, let's get into some of these entrances. I can tell you for me, because we said we're doing 5, right? Ashley, hold on, where my notes because I forgot the WrestleMania was. Nope, I'm not gonna say that one yet, right? Yeah, I am because that I liked it. I thought it was dope, right? 25, WrestleMania 25. You get John Cena with the lineup of Cenas, bro. I thought it's dope because it was just. I don't want to say anybody else because I don't want to take away from nobody's top 5, but John Cena, all these kids and people are who? They're not wrestlers. They're people who got hired to come in do so. I thought that was dope. Like, man, now that's at least what I thought back then. Maybe I'm wrong, and all of them are like developmental or something. But I thought they were like random people that they picked and selected through Make-A-Wish and all these other. That's what I assumed. I never even looked to figure it out. I never wanted to know. I just assumed. And with that assumption, I thought that was dope that John Cena would do that. And so John Cena is in my top 5 for best entrances at WrestleMania.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll go. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of gonna cheat with this one, and when I say why, it's honestly two sharing the same spot, but I'm gonna explain why it makes sense as to why it's both.
Please do.
So for this one, I'm picking. I believe it's Mania 25 with Shawn Michaels' entrance and Undertaker's. And the reason why I'm putting them both together rather than just Shawn Michaels, both entrances parallel with each other. Not to say that if it wasn't Undertaker, if Shawn still did that, it would have still been great. But the fact he's playing off of I'm the light and then Undertaker I'm the darkness, it flows. It just flows.
I also like the ascension or descension of Shawn Michaels too. Shawn Michaels is a born again Christian too, so it kind of like hits a little bit
Yeah,
more. So I thought it was dope because remember he used to wear the Philippines 413 shirt. You know what I'm saying? Which I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me.
Philippians, the Philippines. The Book of Manny Pacquiao, Philippines.
Oh
I might
man.
not have
Oh
five, but I
man.
got one, right? I was here for this. I was in the building. WrestleMania 30. It wasn't the wrestlers per se, it was the hosts. When they introduced Hogan, and then you introduce Rocky, and then you introduce Austin, to me, listen, I was there and like you could check all the boxes for me because that was a moment in time that I don't think a lot of us thought we would see. You got Hogan, Rock, and Austin in the ring. So I forget who came out first, but Hogan came out. He called the Superdome the Silver Dome, and the crowd was like going
What was that
crazy.
one? They had to correct
Yeah,
him.
that was 30 in New Orleans. I was there, so just to see those three in the ring together, like that's an entrance in a moment in time I would never ever forget.
Okay. Let's see here because I got a little list. We talked about WrestleMania 12, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. I thought it was dope. Jose Lothario being my guy's mentor going into this. But the first thing is, he came out with and everyone's like, "What the hell is Shawn? What the hell is going on?" Now, if you don't know at this time, let me give you some backstory. Shawn was tearing up the WWE. He had just did it in your house for his own heart, and he had like came out on the top of the house and he was like dancing, and then he swung down. And back then they had the Slammies. Shawn had already won for entrance of the year and stuff. So it was like he was always doing things to top it. But this one at that time, and you'll never see another entrance like it due to an unfortunate event that happened in 1999. They start pointing to the rafters, which was a bar in my battle versus Dallas Cash. We're not gonna say anything. Pointing to the rafters, and what could it be? And it's up there at Shawn Michaels, and he's got to zip line down to the ring, and he's going through the crowd. This is peak Shawn Michaels. This is that rock star. And if it's not peak, it's like very close to the peak. Like this 96, 97 Shawn, untouchable. Untouchable. And I think this is one of the things that highlighted was that WrestleMania entrance. And he's on a zip line and he's doing the like it's just a great time to be alive, man. So yeah, salute to Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 12.
yeah, that was a good one. That one was on my list.
Yeah, hell yeah, that shit
That
had to
was
be.
on my
That
list.
was godly. Oh shit.
Let's see. So the other one I had was it was a Triple H entrance. I believe it was Mania 22 when he had the King of Kings entrance when he came out with the throne.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
Like that was Triple H has a lot of entrances that are my favorite, but that one just holds something special, has a special place for me. That was one of his peak aura moments. Just everything about that was just and was just aura for me.
Yeah, I got a lot of Triple H probably on my list too. If I really think about it,
Triple H, he don't miss. You know,
I think he takes
his entrances
pride
are
in that.
generally pretty good.
No, they even said he puts in a lot of time just to focus on an entrance when it comes to Mania.
I think that's his MO though, because look at the wrestlers now on the main roster, and then he was back and that was like it's a focal thing. He has made people like entrances. You can't mess your entrance up. He'll lose his shit.
He got burned one time with the dry ice on his stomach.
Yeah,
that was rough. Seth Rollins cashed in on Brock Lesnar. Was that WrestleMania or SummerSlam?
That was Mania.
That's my next entrance. Listen, it wasn't a typical entrance, but it was one of the best entrances in inserting yourself in the match ever. When Seth ran down that ramp and cashed in and stumped Brock Lesnar, fam, that is a great moment. And Seth Rollins had some really serious moments too, but I think the cash in, like he's known for that. It was a great way to do it.
You know, it's funny because you talk about entrances. That entrance that he made doing that cash in, which really wasn't a real entrance, but it was a real entrance. Is like tops any entrance he could have did if his music played and we knew he was coming.
He
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
like,
that shit was dope.
It felt important. It felt like a sense of urgency, and it felt like a moment. And he made a moment. Like I said, it couldn't have went any better than that went with him. So I know my entries ain't typical entrances, but that's a moment and it's an entrance that, you know, when his Seth Rollins get inducted into the Hall of Fame, that's going to play in the montage.
Oh yeah, for certain. You have to. That like solidified him as a that was his first world title too. So it definitely he definitely hit the wickets on that.
Yeah.
I think we gotta talk the Tank and Rusev. And I know Rusev has fallen
Pro
from
second
grace.
anniversary. Shout out to Daddy Hunter. Got some things going down May 15th. We'll definitely shout y'all on the show. Oh, you got it. Look at there. Look at there.
Yes, sir. I was already, you know what I'm saying? I was working on trying to get that thing in here. So it's perfect timing. You said at the perfect time.
Mm-hmm. 2 years strong. Shout out to Marrow Pro Wrestling. 2 years in it. It ain't easy. Trust me. They got 2 years in. That's 2 more than somebody.
Hey, facts. And don't forget, if you guys are in the Riverview, Florida area, you know what I'm saying, on May 15th, you know what I'm saying, get you a little wrestling event at 7 p.m. bell time. Tickets they ain't no WrestleMania tickets. These are affordable. So go
King
ahead
AC
down
might
here.
make the Kings. We a tag team now.
Hey, I like that. We might have to get a King Gamage up here one day. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's the manager. We signed the Game Time Enterprises over there. GTE.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Death Row. Welcome to Game Time.
Okay.
If you're tired of your managers dancing all in your entrance, interfering in your matches, come to Game Time.
Fire. But yeah, that's May 15th. So check that out. King Gamage will be on the way. One day we might have to have him dressed up with the hoodie and the wave cap. What if Z the Dropout?
He got a battle this weekend, so I'm pretty sure he's somewhere getting his mind right, getting ready for his battle.
Come on, Z. I'm actually gonna root for Z because he gotta get some wins in somewhere. And wins for him at least will help his confidence. Because I'm a dog walk the hell out of him. For real. Like this, I've already put throwaway bars in places to just be like, I cannot wait to beat the snot out of you. And it's gonna be so methodical. It's gonna feel like Tyson punching him. Oh man, I can't wait. Why you make that face bringing up Z? Because why? I mean, he went from Z the Dropout to the question mark no show. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll ever be here. for the battle. You know what I mean? He shook. He gets really anxious. You know what I'm saying? His sugar levels be going up. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute, First Lady in the building. That's what I like to see. The green names. Everybody with the green names. Salute. Who's it on for the WrestleMania entrance? Me?
That's you.
Yeah. Back to you, number 3, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a regular guy on this one. I don't even think it's super special. I just thought it was always super special because, I mean, it's who he is, and it was because it was his first world title win. I'm gonna go WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold Steve Austin with Mike Tyson. It really, for me, if I go back in the time period, there was so much like holy shit in the air because I thought Mike Tyson was really aligned with DX, and I was like, they're gonna screw Austin, bro. They're gonna. I didn't know Sean had a back issue like that, so I thought he was gonna have to win it the next night or something like that. And Austin did it. But I think coming out to your first WrestleMania world title where you're gonna become the new face is big. Cody's entrance, Seth Rollins running down the ramp, making a, making that tremendous sprint. Jeez, great conditioning because he had a match before that. He wasn't just sitting around and catering. I'm just going circle also because the glass shatter is actually 13. Let me change it to 13. Him versus Brett, where the 13 is in the glass and the glass literally drops. I like that a little bit more. And purple's my favorite color. WrestleMania 13 was purple and black colors. Salute to Stone Cold.
Okay. So
ain't no memo. We just, we King AC, King HP.
So the next one I got, this might be the most recent entrance out of everybody that we've mentioned. And there is bias because he is one of my GOATs, but I'm gonna say the Rock's Mania 40 entrance.
Oh man.
Look, that final boss entrance, he pulled up with that belt, that fire with the bull, right?
The production on that was crazy.
That joint was amazing.
Yeah. That people's belt. Let me ask y'all a question. Did that title
I get that
come into play?
I'm gonna start Damian Sandow in this thing.
You said what about that title?
Should it come into play? Should they use that title in some way and make it a real title? And how would you address it?
I thought they was gonna do Rocky's belt against Roman's Ulafala at one point.
That's what
control of the bloodline because it's no official WWE title, but it's the People's Champ versus the Tribal Chief. I'm either taking your Ulafala and I'm controlling his family, or I'm taking your title and I'm the People's Champ. I thought at some point they should have done that.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were leading to, but that never happened.
Rock went to film the live action version of Moana.
Y'all remember that pay-per-view Taboo Tuesday or Cyber Sunday?
Yeah.
I think it would be dope that the People's Belt. Vinny, I disagree. I think if you did the People's Belt and every week, it's not an open challenge, but you could kind of do it like that. Because the open challenge is random. Like, yeah, someone's gonna come out, but the People's Champion goes on between Raw and SmackDown and defends it. And every week there's a list put out and it's voted on a poll with Twitter. Since they love to go to Twitter. So it's interactive. It's this interactive belt. Pay-per-view, here's your top 5 contenders. Y'all get to vote. Vote. And I know the WWE took those things seriously because if you remember the story about Michael Cole was talking about it, there was whatever championship Shawn Michaels won to go against Triple H. You know, the WWE expected Bautista to win that poll, and they were counting on that. And when it didn't happen, they're like, "What the?" Like Shawn Michaels won, and Shawn Michaels got the match. So they actually will not. I'm not saying they won't rig it, but there's times where
Maybe
they've done
back
things like this
then.
and
I don't
didn't
think
work.
now it'll work because now what you're doing is you're saying your champion's not going to be showing up. That's why they have. That's why they made the belt that Seth had because Roman wasn't there. Remember,
Yeah.
this is the workhorse title. I'm going to defend this. Like, is eventually it might start off that way. Then it's going to end up being on speed on Twitter. So, and then dragging off to have a title. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I got an entrance. This is an entrance I never thought I would see because this man never, ever, ever was supposed to be in the WWE/WWF. And I'm talking about Sting. Sting's entrance versus Triple H.
Okay.
Listen, it's just because it's something you like when you're watching it, your brain is trying to make it make sense. Like, yo, Sting has never done this. He's never like. And unfortunately, he didn't get to do it much, but he did it that. And that match, like I said, it was a little nostalgia in there. NWO versus DX, but Sting coming to a WrestleMania and having a match in a WrestleMania ring is just a big moment. He could just walked out there in street clothes, and it would have still been a moment. But that's a
Oh
huge
yeah.
moment because it's Sting. No matter how you feel about WCW, Sting is Sting, and that was a moment and a great entrance. It's Sting.
Let's see. I did like that one because Sting, WrestleMania with Steve. Here we go. We started off with Starrcade. Now it's WrestleMania with Steve. I know who didn't like that one. The question mark no show. You know what I mean? I just like to put that out there. I'm gonna go back one, right? Since you want to bring up WCW guys, I'm gonna go back a ways to a guy who made his WWE debut without ever making it. It's like a trivia question. It's like being on the Humble Roses podcast. Salute to Dallas Cash and salute to them for interview they secure with Mark Henry. So salute to them. It's a big deal.
Shout out to all the potters really potting and not just getting on the cameras to waste time. And yeah, a lot of people just get. Listen, man, a lot of y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Your wrestling IQ ain't great. Your opinions ain't good. Your booking is terrible. And the unfortunate thing is the internet makes everybody feel like their opinions are valid. We don't know everything about wrestling, but what we know, we know. We can talk it, we can spit it. We listen. We from off top of the dome. We know we aren't just casual fans. We try to have casual, cool, relatable conversations, but a lot of y'all need to shut the F up. That's my shut the F up for the week early. A lot of you wrestling podcasts need to shut the F up.
Well, on that note, my next pick, man. Y'all remember Rhythm and Blues? Y'all remember the year? It's either 5 or 6. I'm sorry for not knowing the WrestleMania, but I want to say it might be no, because I don't. I could have swore 6. They had the. I don't remember, but check it out. It's either 5 or 6. Y'all remember the tag? It's 6 because it's 5. Honky Tonk Man loses the Intercontinental title. I believe it's the Ultimate Warrior. Anyway, point is. They came out in a car, a limo, like not even a limo. It was like some old school Chevy shit. But you know who their driver was? Their driver was DDP, and that is an interesting wrestling fact because technically that's his WWE debut. The driver to Rhythm and Blues, and they're in like a Cadillac, old school joint. Someone, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's either WrestleMania 5 or 6, Rhythm and Blues. But
Diamond Dallas
yeah,
Page is one of the most popular wrestlers ever who don't get talked about a lot, who wasn't even supposed to be what he became, bro. That dude, you want to talk about right place at right time? He started wrestling at 36. He was a manager who just had a thing. He had a thing, and he figured out he can do the thing, and he did it. He was the face of WCW at one point in time. Diamond cutter, bang, like no crazy move set, all personality, all persona, like, but it worked for what he did. And DDP was super over, man. And yeah, you can't you the bang and the crotch chop and the too sweet signature wrestling moves, and DDP took a little opportunity and turned it to an actual career. And I know a lot of people say what's for you is for you. He's the example of that, bro. Because DDP, he would never make it in today ever. Yeah. Just starting at 36, no, he wasn't a body guy, wasn't super athletic, but he was him. And hey, shout out to Diamond Dallas Page, yo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Check out our interview with Diamond Dallas Page right here on Answer That Podcast.
What's the last ones?
We got one more after this.
Yeah. So this one, I'm gonna give the ladies some love for this one.
Hey, ladies, it's game time.
Yeah, I was debating between two, but I'm gonna say I think it's Mania 35. Yeah, Mania 35, Charlotte Flair's entrance for the women's triple threat main event. Shorty pulled up in a chopper. That was fire.
That was very Ric Flair of her.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. You can't knock that either because again, her legacy, and she looks the part, man. I'll be honest. When I compare her to her dad on a hold for hold level, I definitely think Charlotte is the better wrestler. Now, as far as charisma and such, Rick got it. But in ring, hold for hold, moveset for moveset, Charlotte Flair is her.
Charlotte Flair checks a lot of boxes, and I know she got some coins over there. Listen, I love you. We don't women shame over here, but Charlotte Flair needs a stylist.
Okay,
she needs a stylist. It's giving old lady in the club, and we don't want that. We don't want that for you. We don't want that for you. Because that pink outfit she had on recently, that was a terrible outfit. She has a great body, good looking woman. The outfit though, I'm this fashion Archie right now. That outfit, that wasn't it. It's no for me, dog.
Really, you don't rock with the outfits?
Nah.
You're not gonna agree with Archie on this one. This King AC shit done got to his head. Vinny, let him know.
That nah.
I'm not gonna say either woman that I'm about to say are bad or with fashion at all, but I will say I think Charlotte got a better fashion sense than Becky does.
Oh, Becky can't dress.
Everybody does.
Yeah, Becky get dressed in the dark. No, wow. Sir. It's just, and I think that's the disconnect with a lot of people, with a lot of wrestlers. It's the image. Like, there's a big your image could turn you off to people. I mean, mind you, a model. You shut down Times Square, had a photo shoot. I don't know nobody else who did that. Charlotte Flair ain't did that. I'm just saying, from a fashion perspective, I would dress Charlotte differently, is all I'm saying. Like, I would dress Roman differently also. But I've always said Roman Reigns, like, I wanted the bloodline to either really kind of lean into an updated version of the Samoan thing, because we talked about this, right? Roman Reigns changed the way people look at Samoans, because before they was wild Samoans. They had wild hair. They didn't wear shoes. They was coming out with chicken bones and skulls around their necks.
Even Jimmy and Jay early on, face paint.
Yeah, Roman Reigns made change the image of Samoans in wrestling. People looked at them dominant, but I don't want to say serious, but more kind of human than versus the wild animals that they would have been projected as.
Uncivilized.
Yeah, so I thought Roman in like dressed up like more mafia type style would have been crazy. Not all the time.
I could kind of debate that and say Roman wasn't the one who did that. I would say it was The Rock. Once he became corporate champion, wearing the Versace, the shades, the shoes.
I only say Roman because Rocky never really leaned into his Samoan side. The bloodline
he leans into it when he wants to and it favors him. Because remember, he came through the Nation of Domination, leading into the black side.
Yeah, but bloodline was all about the Samoans.
Okay.
So yeah, I would give that to Rock for sure. But people looked at the Usos and Roman because even the Usos got more hip, in the words of Kevin Nash, urban. But I think if Roman did what like MVP and them was doing, not all the time, but like just a real nice suit and rolling the sleeves back, like I think that would have made the image even crazy.
It would have been crazy.
Like
that's next level Roman.
Like Roman beat somebody up, they get blood on his shirt. He beat them up next week because last week you got blood on my shirt. Now I'm beating you again this week, just because he's just been in t-shirts and Jordans for 5 years.
At one point, he was doing the whole suit and tux thing in NXT, but like real early, and then they cut that.
Yeah, they nixed that. Yeah, I mean Roman Reigns they would look good. I don't know how it would work with Jimmy and Jay, but Roman in a suit, because they tried it with Solo. It just didn't. It don't hit with everybody. But if Roman was to do it, I thought that would be the next thing for Roman. Because you see somebody fighting in a suit, dog. That's like, but slow, methodic. Like he take the jacket off. He don't throw the jacket. It's a real slow.
It's almost like you want him to have a what's my man from Spider-Man, Daredevil, Kingpin test style. You know what I'm saying?
Kingpin don't beat nobody up fast. Like I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to whip your ass, but you know it's coming. So I'm gonna take it.
Every punch is like 30.
It's real slow, you got fight or flight. But I'm about to beat your ass. But if you still in this ring, by the time I finish unbuttoning this shirt, you deserve what happened to you. So
if they would have went that route for Roman while he was doing the Bloodline story, I think after he beat Lesnar to be undisputed and he had both belts, that would have been the perfect time.
Especially when they anointed him the one belt that was undisputed. They got to start calling it undisputed. All these guys ain't undisputed champions. They didn't do anything for it. There's a whole new championship out there.
Yeah, just and even because even in the suit, you could still have the Ula Fala, and they could still incorporate the Samoanness with more corporate kind of thing. I just thought that would be a crazy visual because, like I said,
Roman,
because people introduced the Samoans, they've been wild all this time, like and that's a big difference. That's a 180 for sure. So, it's on me.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
We got sidetracked. I don't know if this happened at WrestleMania, but I'm hoping it did. I just thought this was a cool moment for this guy because I know he's been at the bottom of the barrel since his return to the company. He's in a match at WrestleMania this year. He might pull it off. But Rusev in the Tank.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a really cool moment because Rusev was scorching hot at one point.
Yeah.
He was. Then to find out him and his wife got busy in the Tank made me like it even more. I'm with that. Shout out to Lana. But yeah, Rusev in the Tank. I don't understand the fall of Rusev. It's on a list of things that needs to be studied because he was undefeated. He had a streak. Rusev was undefeated.
I can answer that. I can answer that for you. He got the Cena rub. When did that ever help anybody?
Oh. So you saying the John Cena rub is the Danhausen curse?
Look, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it there before I get on the Cena rant.
All right, I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna keep HP is on you. One more to go.
All right. This one is a what if. Right? What if the circumstances were different on this entrance? This entrance is it's already good in itself. But the problem with certain things is this was done in an outdoor arena. So it was daytime. If this shit would
I
have
think I know
happened at
what you.
night,
I think I know where you're going. I hope I know where you're going.
if this would have happened at night, it would have been nuts. It might have been one of the greatest entrances ever. And that is Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30.
I was there.
Yeah.
And it's all daylight though. They can't help it. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, it was an open stadium. That was wild.
You see what I'm saying? You got the scarecrows and all that. Imagine that at night.
That's not 30.
Was that 30?
That he was at 30, but 30 was in the Superdome.
Wait, so that was
either 31 then.
That was either 29 or 31.
It might because remember it was in New Orleans, then it skipped and went to New Orleans. It was in New Orleans like real.
No, wait, which Mania was Sting and Sting and Triple H? What was Sting and Triple H?
31. It's 31. It's 31.
So it was 31 because that's when that happened.
Yeah.
But like that like when you watch it right now, right?
Because 30 he had the band playing him to the ring. I was there.
Yes. And he still got the scarecrows like doing all this creepy shit, walking. God, that shit was crazy. But it was during the day. And I
thought he was gonna go Triple H when he did the Terminator entrance.
That was fire too.
It was outside though, so you didn't get the full effect.
Yeah.
So on you, Gamage.
I ain't gonna hold you. This was so cold.
Yeah, Bray had some fire entrances. Yeah, damn, Bray Wyatt, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And damn the WWE for allowing this to happen during the. You see, look at the daylight. We know we need to do this at night.
Can't help it though.
No, they could have because the main events in the last two matches. This has to be. It's the take. Put that shit. What the fuck, WWE? Come on, man. Somebody's getting a paycheck for doing nothing. God damn. But it was still a fire entrance. Absolutely magnificent. It just would have been a little bit like, you know what I mean? As hard as that is to imagine, it would have been that much. Oh my God. Super fire.
Who you got, Gamage?
See, okay. I wouldn't be me if I didn't put this person in here.
Fucking Rhea Ripley.
Cody Rhodes.
It was almost Rhea. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was almost Rhea.
I know. There's two people I know you love on this planet.
It was almost.
And I ain't one of them.
Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
So
Cody Rhodes.
It is the Cody Rhodes entrance. Now the thing is, I'm debating between two of them. It's either his. Was it 39? No, 38. 38. It was either.
We didn't know it was.
It was either his debut in 38. Yeah, it was either the debut in 38 or his entrance in 40 when he had like the Iron Man skull mask.
That entrance in 38 is gonna be undefeated for many reasons, bro.
Yeah.
38.
When them lights hit,
I feel like I have to say 38. I have to.
Family.
And that was kind of cold, bro. And Seth was already in the ring pacing, just kind of waiting. It kind of set the tone.
And he pulled the coat off, and you see the pec injury. Can't plan that.
Adrenaline in my soul.
Fireworks. Cody's debut. I don't care what you feel afterwards, but Cody's debut was one of the best debuts ever.
Yeah.
One of the worst kept secrets, but one of the best debuts. When that music hit, wrestling has more than one royal family.
I ain't gonna hold you. It was
HP. My last one, I think you're gonna appreciate. You know, as a kid, I often remember things. Through my kid eyes, man. And you know, I wouldn't be King AC if I didn't show love to the one, the only Uncle Rodney, aka Yokozuna. Yokozuna coming to the ring. The flag, Mr. Fiji, the women, they throwing salt. Like, bro, Yokozuna's entrance at WrestleMania is just, it's simple. Sometimes in wrestling, simplicity is the best thing you can do. He's already a big guy, right? He don't need a big entrance. Get him to the ring, carry the flag, do the salt ceremony, and that's it. So I gotta give love to Yokozuna. I don't know what WrestleMania was. I just remember it was a WrestleMania. Mr. Fiji was there, and the ladies was there, and it was just it was simplicity at its best. Big men don't need big entrances. They got it right with Yokozuna. Yokozuna's one of the rare cultural appropriated characters in wrestling I really appreciate. Because to find out he's actually Samoan, and to hear the Usos talk about it is even funnier. They say Uncle Rodney made it to WWE. Everybody crowd around the TV for his debut, and he comes out as a Japanese sumo wrestler. And they're like, yo, that's Uncle Rodney. Uncle Rodney's not Japanese, but they fooled us. I'm not big on the cultural appropriation in WWE. A lot of times they get it wrong. But with Yokozuna, the look, the presentation, the way he wrestled, him not talking, Mr. Fiji, who I think he's from like South Carolina from somewhere. Like, whoever put that character together got it right. And that entrance, him in WrestleMania, simple but effective. My last great WrestleMania entrance goes to Banzai! Yokozuna. Rest in peace, Uncle Rodney. King AC has spoken. Put my title on my shoulder.
I ain't gonna hold you, brother. I appreciate this. You know how much I love Yokozuna. Two people I love in this world that I never met, Yokozuna and Psycho Sid. Yokozuna is, I don't like to see wrestlers pass away and never get their Hall of Fame speech. I also think Yokozuna, because he comes from a time of wrestling where wrestling doesn't get like, they're like Roman. I mean, you have Twitter and they're always trying to push numbers. But if there is Twitter and stuff at WrestleMania 9 and 10, don't forget, Yokozuna wrestled 4 main events in 2 WrestleManias when it was only one night each. He had 2 matches at 9.
Bro, all he did was wrestle. He had a mouthpiece. He didn't do much talking.
Yeah.
He just showed up.
Don't forget, I just want to make it clear. Hogan and Brett. Lex and Brett. One night, 2 WrestleManias. He headlined 4. That's 4 main events. Lex versus him for the title. Him versus Brett in a rematch from the previous year. Title. Him and Brett at 9. Him and Hogan 9. People, fucking the question mark no show will lead you to believe that people like fucking Yokozuna aren't fucking superior goddamn athletes.
I just find it very weird though that two of the biggest and most prominent.
I just got my medication.
2 of the most biggest and prominent wrestlers and characters in the WWE were both Samoan. Both passed away, and WWE don't really mention. One is Umaga, and the other one is Yokozuna. The WWE, for some reason, don't acknowledge these men and what they did in the company. And I find that odd. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason, but for the Samoans to have been a constant part of the WWE since what, the 60s, 70s?
60s, yeah.
It's odd that they don't speak on these men. They spoke on Alpha and Sika. They speak on Rocky's.
They only did that because of Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns is not their kid and Alpha and Sika pass away, they don't get half of that tribute.
I know that for a fact. They were even on the show. I know that. But they still got mentioned. For some reason, Yokozuna and Umaga are rarely mentioned in WWE programming anything.
Yeah.
Only because I think too, there's some sort of negativity towards him. One was I don't want to go into specifics. I don't want Zilla to try and clear the air, and I said something that was slightly off, but there was some negativity in a sense with him, right? And I think because Umaga also never hit his max. Yoko actually did. Yoko beyond hit his max. Yoko set the tone. I just told you in 2 WrestleManias, he did 4 main events. He did
But
4.
that's why I said that's why I started this with saying 2 of the most prominent wrestlers, but characters. That Umaga character, it was peak.
When they brought Donald Trump in, Bobby Lashley, Umaga.
It was peak wild Samoan. He was the wild Samoan's final boss. Like he was
100%.
Bro, Umaga
100%.
was a train running through the WWE.
He had very much the athleticism of. I mean, I don't know. To me, I would give Yoko a slight edge in athleticism because he was bigger, and that's very hard. Yoko was 500 doing super kicks. I said the back body drop. Well, he didn't back body drop.
Yoko could move.
But
Yoko could move.
Yes, if you watch his early WWE, now they did try to get him to lose weight. That's why I talk about his negativity because he did balloon in weight to 600 pounds, and that's when WWE got like, hey.
I think Rosie might have been the best wrestler in the family, Vinny. Like Rosie could wrestle. Like, bro, it's certain people they just don't.
Rosie doesn't get mentioned because his character was trash.
Yeah, but Rosie,
if they would have found a better character for him, we'd have got a much better result for Rosie because he could do things. Put a fucking mask on him and call him whomever, but they didn't. They called him Rosie and they let him kind of fade into obscurity.
Because Rikishi was even supposed to be a sumo wrestler. They try to piggyback off Yoko with Rikishi, but you know he was the Sultan before that. So it's something about those two, like you say, it could be the manners in which they passed that they don't speak about. But how many other people passed away from weird things in wrestling?
They get all type of right.
They get,
and that's why I'm always be a fan of Yoko. I'm gonna be honest. I was never a super big fan of Umaga. I was just okay. I like to watch him. But Yoko,
Umaga was
Yoko ended WrestleMania. Yoko, as soon as he hit scene, it was like, how do you beat the? I remember when he run the Royal Rumble. Macho Man tried to pin him. We're going to just exclude that. And he actually bench pressed Macho out. That's how he eliminated him. He pinned.
He just pushed him out of the ring.
Yeah.
He benched him out the ring. He was on his back, laying down. Macho pinned him. Well, there was no count. Macho was like, what's going on? Yoko put them arms up and pushed them all and over the top rope. It was a great spot. Macho Man is a super professional, executed it flawlessly.
Jacob could have been a second coming of Umaga, but Umaga is what Roman needed. And if they wanted to make the bloodline go crazy, kind of what they made
Jacob
Solo.
Fatu should take pieces from. I'm not gonna say he should beat him, but he should take pieces from it if you're not gonna bring Zilla.
But Jacob's too good of a guy. Jacob's just a good. People just like Jacob.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Go.
Do you think they ever? My answer is no, but not because I want it. I just don't think they're gonna bring another Samoan up. Do you think they're gonna bring Zilla Fatu eventually?
I feel like he deserves. I said this last year. I don't think Zilla Fatu's ever coming to WWE.
I agree. I think there's certain things. Gamaj, what's your take?
A year ago, I would have said yes. Now I'm not sure.
I was saying this.
There's certain things I want people to be aware of.
Thing was going on. I've seen Zilla move in real life. I've seen Zilla. Zilla moves me in real life. He put his hands on me. Man, we both almost got in a fight with Bloodline members. Samoan. Look at that. Hey, King HP, baby. But no.
I want no smoke with them Samoans, bro.
You got to get in a fight with a Samoan. I just believe Zilla's might be okay with where he is, working with Reality of Wrestling, Booker T, and working
Well,
with
it's definitely a good place.
Fourth Rope with Westside. If Zilla is to ever go to WWE 1, he's going to have to get in WWE shape.
Yes. Yes.
Jacob lost 35 pounds, came in, and I'm saying Zilla ain't got the work ethic. I don't know him personally. He's a wrestler. He's got the work ethic. He's doing the thing. He's a champion. But he's got to get in WWE shape. He got to wrestle WWE style. And there's a lot of moving parts around Zilla that I don't think WWE will allow to be in WWE.
I'm going to say something that I think is going to be a controversial take, and I hope Zilla is listening. And it's not Zilla's fault, but Zilla needs to work on his promo. Now, I don't mean that as Zilla needs to actually work on his promo. I mean that in the sense of because they took Jacob Fatu, Zilla's promo is similar. And this is what he would need to figure out because we don't want to see another Rosie. Bring Zilla up and they treat him like Rosie. We don't fuck that. We want to see Zilla, but how with the way the WWE operates, right? They don't like too many people in the same position. If we do, we got to put one on Raw, one on SmackDown. Could he? You know what I'm saying? Like we already saw Ray Phoenix come up with Penta, but yet they act like that ain't ever been a thing.
Ray Phoenix is cooked.
Yeah, and we don't want to see that for Zilla. I do believe Zilla deserves a shot. I think Zilla can make the WWE better. Here's my second thing. Go through the history of the WWE. Don't just answer me emotion. Show me a champion, Intercontinental U.S. champion in WWE, not WCW, WWE, or world title or whatever, that has tattoos on their face. WWE is very specific about their branding. People have tattoos, Undertaker's disciples, was the DOA, Disciples of Apocalypse. They even put fake tattoos on it, but not on their face. They, you know what I'm saying? And Zilla has actual tattoos on his face. Now, could he get it removed? Could he get a makeup? Makeup probably be bad. They probably ask him to remove it because makeup will
even with that HP. I think now some of that stuff is whatever. I don't know how TKO feels. Remember, this ain't WWE no more. TKO. It's two things. One thing, I'm saying. Zilla, when you see it in real life, you see, bro, Zilla is actually a machine on his own in the thing. He has fire merch. He calls himself the One. Like he's a machine. So to see it in real life is different. So I think it could work. But here's the other part to that. They got Jacob Fatu wrong. They're not going to get Zilla Fatu right. Jacob is
RG.
They missed with Jacob.
I disagree and agree.
Jacob came in scorching hot, and he's lost a lot of momentum.
Oh, you're talking about from where he's at now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
They got Jacob wrong. They're not going to get Zilla right.
I can see that. How you say that? Because even though Jacob is still not cold, it just when he came in, man,
he's not white hot anymore.
It was instant impact. Then they made him a face. Now they're trying to make him a heel. He was out. Like they don't know what to do with Jacob. They're not gonna know what to do with Zilla.
Yeah, that was the talk. You and me, HP, had the discussion about if they maintain Jacob's popularity being white hot, and they had given Drew the belt at WrestlePalooza, they could have main evented.
Yeah, that could have been invented, yes. Because look what happened with Obafemi. Obafemi is white hot. They put him in with a star, and look what just happened. It was like, this is what you wanted.
But that's the thing. That same feeling we get from Oba, people had about Jacob.
You know what they fucked up? I'm gonna tell you exactly where they fucked up.
With what? With Jacob?
When they pulled the remember when Roman came back for the cage match? And they closed, and Roman closed. It was just him and Jacob, and he closed the cage. We saw everybody, even on TV. He was like,
"Yeah."
And for the Raw Netflix debut, Tribal Combat, you did not give us Roman versus Jacob.
And then, they did Jacob and they did. Yeah, Roman
that already put it slid.
People want to see Jacob. I think people want to see Zilla, but it has to be right. I don't think they'll. And you know how you do Zilla right? You make him Umaga.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I'm not saying the character. I'm saying the energy.
In the image of like
the persona, like the bulldozer, the Samoan bulldozer.
Oh,
like
I can see that. Because he has an Umaga tattoo on his chest, which I don't think WWE.
I'm just saying, give him the same type of vibe Umaga had. Umaga just like Roman said, wreck shit and leave. That's it. We don't need him to be a fan like favorite.
Him coming to the bloodline every week. People have to calm him down. Even Jacob having to be like, bro, chill out. And he'd be like, if you don't give me somebody to fight, I'll beat the locker room up. And then in the back, you see him beating. Like, what the fuck?
No,
this dude is off the chain.
I'm gonna fight you. What? No. Hold up, Oos.
Yeah, Roman coming out to the ring, big matches. Roman bringing out Zilla. You're like, oh, like you know what time it is when Zilla is on.
Zilla TV. Should be unhinged. Like Zilla might be in a crowd eating popcorn, and like you don't know what he gonna do. Like we don't know. That could be the story. We don't know. Oos. Roman's like, yo, y'all got to get control of this. Like or somebody.
This almost sounds like how. Remember when Solo started and when he was technically the enforcer? Because he was also beating up people backstage, but he was like the quiet guy. So you want Zilla to kind of do that. Do that with Zilla, but make him more unhinged.
Zilla's not the quiet guy. Zilla's not quiet at all.
Yeah. No, so I'm saying take that, but instead of making him quiet, just make him more unhinged than Solo was.
What I'm saying. Make Zilla that, because remember, Solo was the street champ in NXT.
Right.
They built a thing with him. And then he came up there and they tried to put him in suits. So it's weird. But I think if they got to get Jacob back, and Jacob and Umaga are kind of similar. They would be a fire tag team, actually.
Maybe. Oh.
And call themselves, they could be the werewolves.
Be good. They win those belts and chuck them aside. Like, I don't care about no belts. You put me in the ring with somebody and I'm either beating you up or I'm going to beat someone up. Take your pick.
I'm going to fight somebody. They could be even backstage fighting each other. Like, what's going on? Be like, yo, we ain't had nobody to fight. It's just, the Samoan werewolves. We just wolves, baby. Like, we need blood. We going to get some blood. That'll be fire. But like I said, they got to get Jacob back to being Jacob. And I think Zilla could work in WWE, but it has to be a concentrated, focused effort to make him work.
Yeah, 100%.
Because people know him. People know
fighting each other. Fighting each other is quick because that would show people these guys don't care who they get in the ring with. They would be a modern day Legion of Doom.
They win the titles, and Adam Pearce like, yo, you have a match. Where are the titles? They're like, we don't know.
Like the titles. The belts. And then they pull out like a belt.
If Jacob came on screen counting a wad of money and Adam Pearce like, where's the titles? And he's like, we sold them. Like, what? We sold them.
They didn't mean nothing to us. We the best tag team. Show us someone that could beat us.
It could be like like you said, Legion of Doom meets APA type deal. APA didn't care about nothing.
They didn't.
They was backstage gambling and whatnot. They have their
own fight club. They could be betting on matches and all that. Just but it has to make sense. Like we sold them. Like I don't know. And I couldn't take it on the plane. It was gonna charge me, so I left it at the airport. You did what?
You were
like I melted it. Yeah. Look, I melted it down. You like my chains? Like you melted the titles down to make chains? It's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta see it. So salute to them two gentlemen because they.
I don't mind the stereotypes and all that in wrestling if one it makes sense and it's entertaining. A lot of stuff Vince and them did just wasn't making sense.
It was cringe.
Entertaining. It just was cringe and it was like really racist.
Yeah.
But one hot take I'll say about Umaga, and it's not saying him like a bad one on him. Where they messed up with Umaga, in my opinion, to make him like more or a bigger star, that was another Cena rub. Because remember, when Cena was champion, he had a title match.
We know you don't like Cena.
We're gonna talk about this because when that happened, a lot of people wanted Umaga to go over, but no, we had to give it to Cena. It was so clear. You want to know how WWE even knows they messed up with that? It's in 2K25 in the Bloodline storyline as a what if match if Umaga beats Cena.
Damn.
Now I'm done.
Can't believe you.
Where? Oh, 5'9". I don't fuck with 5'9s.
Okay.
Loves the gun range, bowling, pool, ATVs.
Well, come on. Since you about to take us out of here, you got anything before we get up out of here?
I'm starting to find it. I'm officially packing for Vegas right now, so I'm trying to get these fits together.
Who was that had the merch collab last year and they had the Fire Rey Mysterio shirts in Austin and all that? What was that collab?
I don't know.
Wait, which one?
I always went on the planet.
Remember they had the merch. It was the Travis Scott merch, the Rey Mysterio collab, Stone Cold shirts and all that. It was a fire collab. The last year WrestleMania collabs.
Crap. That was for Travis Scott with the Cactus Jack joints.
Yeah.
Hey.
But then they had the Rey Mysterio joint with the mask on it. Then they had the Austin joint. I forget, man. But what I'm saying is, if they got some fire merch, I might need you to bring me something back. Is all. That's what I'm trying to get to, Kamaj. But HP.
Oh yeah, I got you. That superstore that line gets crazy.
I'm trying to remember who the company was that collabed with them. It's gonna come to me. But HP, got anything for you to get up out of here?
Hey, nah, man, check us out this Sunday live. You know what I mean? You don't know what it is. April 19th, which is same day as WrestleMania Day Night, which is night 2, from Return. So I ain't gonna be here, brother, unless you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna be here. But yo, I wish everything the best. You know what I'm saying? Come check us out over there. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure that you hit the subscribe here and then join, become a member. We're doing a WrestleMania giveaway. I told you the prize, which we will be giving away, the only way to be entered is to be a member of some sort, is a triple-digit value.
Ooh, 300.
So $199 will automatically enter you. Now, you want more chances? Get a higher tier.
Oh man, that's better than Prize Picks. Y'all know me, man. Catch me out every Sunday on the Hall Preezy Universe at 9:00. I go live, talk about From. I do Marvel recaps. Subscribe to Hall Preezy Universe, King AC. Shout out to my girl D the Machine. She's been holding it down. From comes back April 19th. And we doing a recap. We got the multiverse and universe. We still doing From versus Walking Dead. We got a lot going over at Hall Preezy, but here too on After Our Podcast.
I have to watch that Supergirl trailer.
And I'm in school, doing great in school. And yeah, man.
Wait, I am
King HP.
But you know what's fucked up? You know what this is? This is my charger to my laptop that I'm on right now, and it's broken. Which I have to literally order another one because once the battery dies,
tie people up with the laptop charger. HP, it's stuff on Amazon for that. I'll put you on.
I had to bring my personal laptop to my job and try to charge it there secretly as my work laptop runs out. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
Damn, it is April Fool's. Shout out to everybody that's foolish enough out there to think they podcast can mess with us. Man, catch us Friday, Attitude Era Podcast, doing it right after the main event of SmackDown. Because look, I ain't gonna hold you. These weekly shows have been getting good. And EO Sky, chill. Chill. I've never seen nobody land on their head like that. Hope she's okay. We like to see you upright, walking, and all your body parts working. So EO, chill. Who else is gonna jump off the Elimination Chamber with trash cans on their head? Nobody but you. But chill. That was a nasty bump she took, and I hope she's well.
Yeah.
But I hope you are well. Shout out to the best chat on the internet. Hope this week is good to you and good for you. That is Gamaj. Game Time, your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster. That is King HP, the undisputed podcast champion of the world. I am the Archie Carter. This is Azrael Podcast. We'll see y'all Monday for SmackDown. Peace. We're on the road to WrestleMania. You heard? King AC. King AC.